It might actually be a better pay system because it encourages them to fix problems in their shop versus a flat rate tech that costs them nothing when they're standing around. All right, I'm the Flat Rate Master, and today we're going to do a deep dive into pay systems. Now, it's important to note, I don't care how you get paid. Not my paycheck. Your paycheck at the end of the week. My priority is for making sure that all technicians out there make the most amount of money they can, no matter how they get paid. This is just a comprehensive guide to pay systems. Pros and cons of hourly, hourly with commission, and flat rate. Pros and cons. So yes, there'll be cons of flat rate. So let's start off with hourly. Now, for the sake of this discussion, we're going to say all the three techs make $40 an hour, and hourly, flat rate with commission. We'll get into kind of the reasons for that later. So as an hourly technician, there are some great advantages. Now, obviously, you have a steady paycheck. You know every week what you're going to make as long as you show up for your shift. Also important to note, if you provide your own tools, in most states, they cannot pay you salary. It has to be hourly base. It has to be clocked in, clocked out. Salary's illegal. Sorry, I don't know what to tell you. 2, there's outliers out there that make great amount of money on hourly as a technician. We're not talking outliers. So we're talking averages. As far as total paycheck, I don't know as far as, averaging out hourly technicians versus flat rate versus commission. All I know is the ads I've seen, generally hourly techs make less per hour than an equivalent flat rate tech, just based on ads. I haven't worked hourly in a very, very, very long time, so I can't say exactly. Your experience will vary, but that's what I've seen in ads, is generally they pay lower. But let's talk about some of the big advantages other than that. As a dealer tech, if you're hourly and you're just mostly doing warranty work, that's a huge, huge win, because hourly is a huge advantage when you're getting paid 0.3 to do stuff that takes an hour or longer. And any dealer tech will tell you warranty times suck. They're hard to even match, let alone beat. And so that's a huge advantage if you're just doing a lot of warranty work at a dealership. Hourly is pretty cool. Another thing that's pretty cool is if you work at a shop that expects 40 hours of work out of you to show up and expects you to turn out 40 hours. They're not expecting you to produce 50 or 60 hours a week. Not pushing you for that. It's awesome. You're producing exactly what you're making. Everything's good. Obviously, shops that are like that tend to push quality over quantity, which is a good thing for the customer, a good thing for, the general public, as well as a technician who doesn't have to worry about a time crunch, making it a win-win for everyone involved. Now, where hourly kind of sucks a lot is when they push you to produce 45, 50, 55, 60 hours. You as a technician are losing money because you're not getting paid for that additional work you're putting out. They expect you on hourly to produce more than you're there, meaning a flat rate tech will make more money doing the same thing you are. So you're losing money in that position. And unfortunately, a lot of hourly shops do that. And that's a problem I have with hourly, is if you're being pushed and pushed and pushed and you make hourly, it kind of sucks. And, on a side note, I see a lot of ex-dealer techs that pay hourly. I wonder why. Because, flat rate kind of gave them the income to open their own shop, but now they pay hourly. I digress. But anyway, and that's one of the worst things about hourly is when you're getting pushed like you're a flat rate tech, but not getting compensated like a flat rate tech or hourly with commission. But again, what works for you is what works for you. All right, let's talk flat rate. Now, obviously, flat rate versus hourly, you make the same 40 hours, but you produce 50 hours, you make 40 times 50 versus 40 times 40. That's the advantage of flat rate, is if you work efficiently, your shop is properly set up. We'll get into that in a second. You can make a lot of money on flat rate. You can. You don't get paid for comebacks, so unless you are screwing the customer or you miss something or whatever, bad parts you usually get paid for, but I digress again. Generally, flat rate, you have to be efficient, good. The shop has to be set up properly to run flat rate. That's a problem in a lot of shops. You have to have a system set up so that you can efficiently produce 50, 60 hours a week on flat rate. That means the shop has to have enough cars coming in. They have to properly work the cars through the system. It has to work efficiently. That's the main disadvantage of flat rate, is a lot of shops suck at that. And if you're standing around doing nothing, not billing any hours, you don't make any money. And unfortunately, that's a huge downfall of flat rate, is, peaks and valley in your paycheck. I think every flat rate tech has had at least 1 week where they're worried about how they're going to put gas in their vehicle, let alone lunch or bills. And that's a problem with flat rate, is it is. There's no way around that. If you don't have a shop that is kept busy, keeping the flow of cars, giving you enough work, it sucks. Now, on flat rate, it's also a very much hustle environment. You got to keep hustling. If you don't, you're not going to make that good paycheck. It's fine. Everybody has bad weeks, whether you're hourly, commission, or flat rate. But if you want to make that paycheck, you got to hustle for it. You can't sit back and take a bye week as a flat rate tech and expect your paycheck not to suck. And another disadvantage is, obviously, I talked about dealer warranty time. If you work at a dealer and you do primarily warranty, you're not making good money on flat rate. Unless you get a lot of customer pay stuff in, you're just not going to make good money. And that's why a lot of techs are leaving the dealerships. There's been lawsuits about it. Warranty times just continue to suck, and they're getting worse. Now let's talk hourly with commission. Now, this is a subject this is the holy grail for a lot of people. A lot of shop owners see it as holy grail, and it could be. People are usually the problem in that, but hourly with commission. Now, first off, I call hourly with commission flat rate with a guarantee, because it's kind of what it is. You have a base hourly rate, and then you have some sort of commission on top of that. So you're going to get a paycheck every week for this amount of dollars, and then depending on your commission system, you're going to make more than that. Now, one of my biggest problems with hourly with commission is shop owners that hang a carrot that you can never reach, meaning they have convoluted or tiered, and they make you reach for something that you're literally never going to be able to reach. They're going to put that carrot just out of reach. That's a problem for me. The pay system should be just, you do this, you get that. It shouldn't be, well, if you do this, then you get this, but if you get that, you get this. It shouldn't be that. It should just be, you bill hours, here's what you get in addition to what you already make, and it should total out to dollar for dollar of what a flat rate tech makes. Meaning, if a flat rate tech bills 50 hours a week and he makes $100,000 before taxes, the hourly with commission tech should also be making that $100,000 before taxes. And it's a number. Don't take it as, the $40 an hour thing. It's just a easy number to convey. They should be making the same amount dollar for dollar because they're doing the same job. They're producing above the minimum 40 hours and producing hours. So they should be making equivalent amount of money. Doesn't always happen, but that's where it should be. But honestly, if a shop can pay that pay system and everybody's happy, why wouldn't you? You guarantee the technician that comes in, he's not going to be counting pennies to get to work. Technician makes more money when he does above the bare minimum. It's a really good pay system. The disadvantages come from manipulation of that pay system. And that's really the only drawback of hourly with commission, is the manipulation of it to make sure you don't make the equivalent of a flat rate tech. Whether it's paying you less per hour, paying a funky commission system, etc. But straight up, it's a really good pay system because you're rewarded for your hard work and staying efficient. And you're not penalized for inefficiencies of the shop, encouraging them to fix the inefficiencies in their shop versus flat rate, where if they don't fix the problems in the shop, it costs them nothing because they literally don't have to pay. It might actually be a better pay system because it encourages them to fix problems in their shop versus a flat rate tech that costs them nothing when they're standing around. Hope you enjoyed this deep dive into pay systems. As always, thanks for watching. I am the Flat Rate Master.